What's the secret? What makes people like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jamie Foxx, and Tony Robbins titans in their fields? Is it raw talent, luck, or something else entirely? For years, Tim Ferriss has obsessively deconstructed the routines, habits, and mindsets of over 200 world-class performers, and he packed all of it into one powerhouse book, Tools of Titans. Today, we read tearing it open and extracting the most potent strategies that you can apply right now to change your own game. This isn't just about reading a book. It's about downloading the operating system of the world's most successful people. Forget theory. We're diving straight into the practical, actionable tactics that separate the good from the truly legendary. First up, let's talk about becoming unbreakable, both physically and mentally. This is the healthy section of the book, and it's not about your typical gym advice. We're talking about the elite level. Take Wim Hof, the Iceman, for instance. This guy has climbed Mount Everest in shorts and holds over 20 world records for withstanding extreme cold. His secret, a specific breathing method combined with cold exposure. Now, you might be thinking, I'm not trying to climb Everest in my underwear, and that's fair. But here's the kicker. Countless athletes and high performers, like Laird Hamilton, the big wave surfing legend, have adopted these principles. They use ice baths and cold showers not just for physical recovery, but for mental resilience. It trains your nervous system to handle stress. Think about it. If you can willingly and calmly step into freezing water every morning, what can the rest of the day possibly throw at you that you can't handle? It's about building what they call discomfort callousing. You systematically expose yourself to small, controlled stressors to build an immunity to the big, uncontrolled ones that life inevitably throws your way. And it's not just about the cold. Let's look at morning rituals. Almost every single titan in the book has one. For many, it's not a 2-hour marathon. It's short, sharp, and effective. Tony Robbins, for example, starts his day with something he calls priming. It's a 10-minute routine involving breath work and gratitude that shifts his state from sleepy to supercharged. He doesn't roll out of bed and check his email. He wins the morning before the world has a chance to distract him. Jocko Willink, the former Navy SEAL commander, famously posts a picture of his watch on Twitter at 4:30 a.m. every single day. His philosophy is simple. Discipline equals freedom. By getting up before the enemy, and the enemy can be procrastination, laziness, or just your competition who sees control of your day. These aren't just quirky habits, they are strategic weapons. They set the tone, create momentum, and build a psychological fortress that protects you from the chaos of the day. Now, let's shift gears to wealthy. How do billionaires and investment gurus build their empires? It's not just about working harder, it's about thinking differently. A core principle that echoes throughout this section is the 80-20th rule, or the Pareto principle. Richard Koch, an investor who turned a few million into billions, lives by this. He relentlessly asks, what are the 20% of activities, investments, or relationships that are yielding 80% of my results? And then he doubles down on that 20% and ruthlessly cuts the rest. Think about your own life. What are the few things that, if you did them with more focus, would create a massive positive impact? For many titans, it's about identifying their unique strengths and leveraging them relentlessly. It's about saying no to 1,000 good ideas to say yes to the few great ones. Scott Adams, the creator of Dilbert, wasn't the best artist or the funniest writer, but by combining his decent skills in both with his business knowledge, he created a unique niche where he could dominate. That's the 80-20th rule in action. But building wealth isn't just about what you do. It's about overcoming what stops you, and the biggest obstacle for most people is fear. This is where Tim Ferriss introduces his own powerful tool, fear setting. It's the opposite of goal setting. Instead of fantasizing about what you want, you get hyper-specific about what you're afraid of. Let's say you want to start a business, but you're terrified of failing. With fear setting, you write down the absolute worst-case scenario. What would happen? You lose your savings. You have to move back in with your parents. You get embarrassed. Then, for each of those fears, you write down what you could do to prevent it and what you could do to repair the damage if it did happen. What you'll find, as titans like Reid Hoffman, the founder of LinkedIn, have discovered, is that the downside is often temporary and manageable, while the potential upside is life-changing. Fear setting doesn't make the fear disappear, it defines it. And a dragon you can define is a dragon you can defeat. It's a system for taking calculated risks, for making the leap when others are paralyzed by anxiety. Finally, we arrive at whys. What's the point of being healthy and wealthy if you aren't happy, fulfilled, and mentally sharp? This is where we learn from the philosophers, the artists, and the creative geniuses. One tool that comes up again and again is meditation. But don't picture some monk on a mountain. We're talking about high-stakes individuals like hedge fund manager Ray Dalio and movie producer Brian Grazer. For them, meditation isn't about escaping reality, it's about mastering it. It's a daily practice to quiet the mental chatter, to observe their thoughts without being controlled by them. This allows them to make clearer, less emotional decisions, especially under pressure. Many of them use apps like Headspace or Calm, proving you don't need a guru, just a smartphone and 10 minutes a day. The goal is to create a buffer between a stimulus and your reaction. That little gap is where your power lies. It's the difference between reacting impulsively and responding intelligently. Another ridiculously simple but profound tool is the 5-minute journal. It's structured gratitude. In the morning, you write down 3 things you're grateful for and 3 things that would make the day great. In the evening, you write down 3 amazing things that happened and 1 thing you could have done to make the day even better. It sounds almost too simple to work, right? But here's the science. It forces your brain to scan for positives. We are naturally wired to focus on threats and problems. The 5-minute journal retrains your brain to see the good. It's a forcing function for happiness. People from all walks of life in the book swear by this practice. It combats the hedonic treadmill, that feeling where you achieve a goal, feel good for a minute, and then immediately start chasing the next thing. Gratitude anchors you in the present and multiplies the joy you already have. It's the ultimate wisdom hack. So what's the common thread that ties all these titans together? It's not one specific habit. It's not just cold showers or journaling. The single unifying factor is this. They are all obsessive lifelong learners and experimenters. They treat their lives like a laboratory. They form a hypothesis like, if I do cold showers, I'll have more energy. They test it, they track the results, and they either keep the habit or discard it. They aren't afraid to look weird, to try unconventional things, or to fail. They are masters of the personal experiment. They don't just read about success. They actively engineer it. They have a bias for action. Whether it's Arnold Schwarzenegger meticulously planning his workouts, or a billionaire testing a new investment thesis, they are constantly tweaking, optimizing, and evolving. They understand that what got them here won't necessarily get them there. This is the ultimate lesson from Tools of Titans. Success is not a destination, it's a process of continuous improvement. Your health, your wealth, your wisdom, they are all skills that can be developed through deliberate practice and relentless experimentation. Pick one tool from this video, just one. Maybe it's a 5-minute cold shower. Maybe it's the fear-setting exercise. Maybe it's downloading a meditation app. Commit to trying it for 1 week. Don't just be a consumer of information. Be a practitioner. That's the Titan way. If you got value from this breakdown and you're ready to start building your own toolkit for success, do me a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next deep dive. And share this video with one person you know who is hungry for a change. Let's build a community of titans together. Thanks for watching and go take action.